surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters Podcast, number 2239. That one off. Unexpected Beauty. This is episode 3 of, why do I get an itchy nose just as I go on here? What are we on? Everyday Wonders, volume 21, Everyday Wonders. This is episode 3, Unexpected Beauty. First of all, though, I want to mention that today is the 21st, 2004? Yeah, the 21st anniversary of the passing of Bear, as in a grizzly bear, but a dog's name. It was my first dog that I had. It had been Brad's dog for 7 years, and before I met him, and then I got to have 8 years. Then I got to be with Brad and Bear for 7 years before Bear crossed the Rainbow Bridge. But it was 21 years ago today that he crossed the Rainbow, and he was a sweet dog. He was half German Shepherd, half Doberman, weighed around 60 pounds, thought he was a lap dog, loved playing ball, but he was one of those dogs that would hold on to the ball till you showed him the other one, and then you drop the first one and you could throw the second one and he would go after it. But if you weren't quick, there was a point when he was tired and done with it that he would actually end up with 2 balls in his mouth and sort of say, I'm done. And he wasn't going to drop them for anybody. But he was the sweetest dog and very protective of me from day one. When he met me, he just sort of became my protector after that. He didn't like me being down in the basement with any service person that came to do our HVAC system downstairs. He didn't like that at all and would stand at the top of the stairs whining and barking and that sort of thing. And I think it's because we didn't have a finished basement. And so for some reason, he didn't like walking down the stairs with no walls. I understand that. He was a sweet dog, but he would stand there and whine and bark until I came back into view. Even if I was talking to him, he wouldn't stop until I came back into view. But he was a really sweet dog, and the kids loved him. Brad loved him, and yes, very, very special dog. So it was 21 years ago today he passed. And oh my gosh, that means that in December it'll be 21 years since we got Gus. And we just passed Gus's 8-year anniversary of his passing, which was on the 6th of this month. And we got him on the 4th of December the 3rd of December in 2004. Yeah. Wow. Dang, time flies. Okay. So what are we talking about tonight? Unexpected beauty. Beauty has a way of surprising us. It shows up where we least expect it, in cracked sidewalks, quiet waiting rooms, or even while running errands. Sometimes it's a chipped teacup that still holds warmth, or a stranger's kindness that lingers long after they've gone. These moments remind us that beauty doesn't need perfection to be meaningful. Yes. There's times that, when you see like they mention, we mentioned here about, cracked sidewalks. There's times that I've been out walking and there's been a cracked sidewalk and there's been just a little flower coming up from the crack in the sidewalk or the crack on the road. I've seen that one at the campground that I used to live at. They had an area where it was like chipped along the side of they didn't have footpaths. They didn't have pavements. It was either walk on the road or you walk on the grass. And so there was times when you'd see the edge of the grass and the edge of the pavement where they met, and there'd be cracks along there, and sometimes you'd see flowers popping up through there. It's kind of pretty. And they'll be bright colored flowers. They wouldn't be dull flowers. They'd be bright flowers that say, look at me. I am sitting right here in this crack in the road. Aren't I beautiful? Yeah, just those sorts of flowers. But it teaches us that beauty often hides in ordinary and overlooked places. Our perspective shapes what we notice. Open eyes invite wonder. Yes. And taking the headphones off and being present in the moment with your dog as you're walking is a huge way to open eyes, because the dog will teach you, be present. Look at me. I'm going to go sniff these flowers over here. Oh, there's a new toy in this garden over here. Let me go check it out. They teach you, may not realize it, but dogs teach you to be present. Broken or imperfect things can carry a deeper kind of beauty. Beauty is often tied in presence. We need to slow down enough to see it. And what happens when you stop expecting beauty only in big or obvious places? You soften your gaze and start noticing details around you. You find meaning in what once looked mundane, and you allow surprise to bring light into your day. And we carry this forward by a pause once a day to look for something unexpectedly beautiful. If you're out walking and you're going through a park or a neighborhood or something, take time to stop, look at a neighbor's yard. Maybe they've got really cool decorations in there. This is what happened to us when we were living in the RV park, and I took 30 days where I had to post 5 pictures in the morning and 5 pictures in the evening of things that we had seen around the park. Now, it was not a large area that we had to walk in, but it was sort of like, oh, let me take these pictures of this garden here. Oh, that's right. That one has that really nice little stained thing, and this one has that, and da-da-da-da. People had painted rocks. People would hide painted rocks in the RV parks for people to find. Just about all the RV parks I stayed in, the nicer ones, where they had like rock gardens and stuff, you'd go walking along, and if you were paying attention, you'd be looking at the rock garden, and all of a sudden there'll be this little painted rock just sitting there. And there was one at one campground I went to, and they had painted, what had they painted on it? Oh, a snake's head had been painted on this rock. That rock sat there, but what happened is that over the next few days, segments of the snake appeared on different rocks. And it was very interesting because everyone put their own interpretation as to what that section of the snake's body looked like and did their own thing. And so the snake ended up winding its way. It ended up being like about this long, but people wound it like it was moving along, and every stone was different. Every rock was different. It was really cool watching that thing grow. But those that like to paint rocks, I've never done rock painting before, but they would hide. You'd be walking around the campground, and there'll be like a rock garden there or a rock area, because they had a lot of rock gardens in there, being in Arizona. And if you looked closely enough, you might find a little painted rock. But if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't see it. So make sure that you pause each day. And there was one campground we went to, and they had this gorgeous little garden area that had these 3 different dog statues in it. And the dog statues all had these dog collars on them with a little heart tag. And on that tag was the dog's name. And Zeffy was like, they were dogs. They were perfectly dog statues. And what it was, I found out later on, is that these are dogs that the owners had, and they had somebody create these dogs using the dog's ashes. So the dog's ashes were mixed into these statues, and the dogs were looked how the dog would have looked if it was alive. It was all the same, the right breed and all of that sort of stuff. It was really cute. And they had this like log that went across in front of the garden. And I've got this picture of the 3 dogs sitting there, and Zeffy's got her front paws on the log, like leaning forward, trying to sniff them because they're dogs. But yeah, her and statues were hilarious. We were at a park near Orlando, and this one was funny. We'd go for a walk every time. There was this car that would park in its little short driveway, which happened to be shorter than the car was long. And so we'd walk around, and again, no pavement, so you had to walk on the side of the road. So we'd walk around this car, and on the other side was this big statue of a rat, and it was about this big, and it caught Zeffy every single time. And I'm like, how many times, we were there for like 2 weeks, and we walked this way every day. And I'm like, how many days is it going to take you to realize that this is the same place we come every time, and that thing's sitting there every single time? But you'd walk past the car, and all of a sudden she'd jump. And I was like, what are you jumping for? It was there yesterday. It was there last night. But yeah, that one she would jump at every single time. And then she'd sort of like move away from it. Then she'd go up and sniff it and realize it wasn't real. But this was our daily routine twice a day, because it was the only way that we could go to get into the other areas of the park to go for good long walks. And this park was, this RV park was wrapped around a golf course. So, RVs are sitting on little pads in between the fairways and things, and the different holes and stuff. And you'd see them out there in little golf carts going across the road to get to this fairway over here. And yeah, so the park was around a golf course, or the golf course was around a park. I'm not sure which way it goes, but you get the idea. And that one, you would find painted golf balls. You wouldn't find painted rocks, but you would find painted golf balls that had some defect on them, and somebody had very cleverly taken the defect on those golf balls. It could be that it was split, it had a big mark on it or something, and so they were no longer using them to play golf, but somebody got them and decorated them, incorporating the scar or the split or whatever it was that was on that ball that made it that it couldn't be used anymore. It was kind of very clever. People are very clever in places. So make sure you pause once a day to look for something unexpectedly beautiful. It could be a flower just starting to open as well. It could be a bird's nest. Maybe there's a little, I know we're going into fall here. Maybe it's the start, the leaves are starting to turn in your area or have already turned. Look around for that, because fall is coming up, and in some places you are in autumn already. So have a look at those things. Carry a sense of wonder even into routine spaces. What can you see in this area? And if you're at work, maybe it's somebody's put up a new photo on their desk, and you could stop by and go, hey, that's a really cool, talk about the picture. That's a new picture. Where did it come from? I've done that time. So carry that sense of wonder, because you'll see people, they may bring in a new potted plant to go on their desk. They may bring in a new picture. They might have their own coffee mug. Just have a look for different things. It could be that maybe they've done their hair in a different way. Carry a sense of wonder into routine spaces. Share those discoveries. Beauty multiplies when told aloud. Take a picture of it, put it on social media, or make a comment if you're in an office space and you notice something new on somebody's desk, or they're wearing something completely different to what they normally wear. Comment them, compliment them, talk to them about it. It multiplies. Let beauty remind you that joy is possible in every season. Oh, yes. I love seasons. My two favorite seasons are spring and autumn, because they are the most colorful. I love vibrant colors, and those two seasons to me are the most beautiful, because they're the most rich in colors. Yes, summer has a lot of bold, bright colors, but not nearly enough as what spring has, when you've got all those new bulbs that are bursting forth, like the tulips and the daffodils and the blossoms coming out on the trees and everything else. And then you get into the fall season, where the leaves are all turning these really cool earthy colors, and some of them are very vibrant. Summer has its own vibrancy as well, like you got the green grass out there. The grass, because the grass grows crazy in the summertime. Winter has its own beauty as well. When we were living in Virginia, we got snow in the wintertime. Ice storms were pretty cool. Dangerous to drive in, but very cool to look outside at. Just because they sparkle. It's the sparkle. Everything sparkles in its own way. So have a look at the different seasons. What season are you in? Outside, in the weather, that sort of thing. What can you find in that season that just makes you smile and you see the beauty in it? With the season within yourself. What season are you in within yourself? And we talked about seasons last week with volume 20, seasons of the heart, and how you can actually live in multiple seasons at once as well. So take note of that. What beauty can you find in the seasons of your heart or the seasons of your environment? Let's see. The stories you tell of unexpected beauty become part of your legacy. You leave behind reminders that even in small, ordinary, or broken places, wonder can be found. And we have your 4 reflection questions. Number 1, when was the last time you found beauty in an unexpected place? Number 2, how might shifting your perspective help you see hidden beauty today? Number 3, what is something imperfect that carries beauty in your life? That's a good one. I like that question. Number 4, how can you share a moment of unexpected beauty with others this week? And in closing, unexpected beauty is everywhere, in cracks, pauses, passing glances. When you notice it, you carry light into your own heart and the heart of others. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.